Well, not every weekend is a hunt. This weekend was a working weekend. Got some trees cut, had a great weekend, and just walking along here and just looking at the beauty around me.
You know, in the field, I like to just remove the quarters, the forequarters, hide on, and remove the back.
The wild hog has an excellent sense of smell. They can smell food from miles away, and they do use their noses to root around in the ground looking for food. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Folks, welcome to this week's A Sportsman's Life. This little show, Jeff Rice, my buddy, Larry Weissoon, and I have been doing for several years now. We try to bring you the outdoors like it really happens. This is a Umarex hammer, folks, and it is named appropriately. This is a hard-shooting air rifle. Folks, I'm hunting editor for Air Gun Hobbyist, I think the only air gun magazine in the country. And in the course of 10 years, I've shot a lot of big bores. This 50 caliber pressures up to 4,500 PSI and develops up to 600 foot-pounds of energy. It's like I say, it's named appropriately hammer. I'm out at my buddy Killer Shepherd's. I just got it yesterday, shot it in. It's shooting a good group. I'm out at 75 yards right now. But I'm very anxious to put this thing to work on hogs. So, folks, let's move along with our show. Jeff and Larry, I don't know what they've got, but I guarantee you it's going to be real world outdoors, something they've been out doing. So here we go.
Not hunting and fishing on a beautiful winter afternoon, what are you doing? You're out clearing land. So this is our pond here, and we're gonna start to clear it and open things up a little bit.
Well, this is what's left of the project that we took on this weekend by trying to clear some trees and brush along the dam here, the road that we've got in the property. So here we are. We've made some progress, as you can see. Still have a little to go here yet, but with family and friends out here help make the job a little easier. We sure got through it, and got some little more brush here to clear out, and we'll get all this stuff cleared out, and we're gonna have one heck of a beautiful little spot here on the pond. So what a beautiful weekend. Nice winter weekend. I'm gonna guess it's probably in the mid-60s today or so, maybe even climbing into 70.
Well, not every weekend is a hunt. This weekend was a working weekend. Got some trees cut, had a great weekend, and just walking along here and just looking at the beauty around me. So let's take a walk, and I'll show you some cool stuff. This is a fantastic time of the year to get out and just enjoy Mother Nature and get out into the woods and take a stroll. Right now, you know, deer season's over. Hog hunting's year-round, of course, down here in Texas, and we certainly hunt our share of hogs. But you know, sometimes it's just fun to get out in the woods and walk and enjoy the beauty. There's so much to see out here. We have an absolutely gorgeous day, and I thought I would share with you a few little video clips of what I'm seeing out here in my little stroll. So I hope you enjoyed that. And man, I tell you what, I've been walking for about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour now, and the sun's gotten up. It's starting to warm up a little bit. An absolutely gorgeous day here. Get out and do this, folks. This is some fun stuff. Just get out and enjoy nature. That's your little tip here from a sportsman's life. All right, we'll be back.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Trigicon, brilliant aiming solutions.
Well, friends, the feeder went off and there's corn on the ground, and I hear the hogs coming in. There is all kind of ways to attract hogs in for a close shot, but I have yet to find anything that works better than some golden kernels on the ground. And bam, sure enough, we've got a hog on the ground. It's time to get the old skinning knife out and do some quartering now. You know, in the field, I like to just remove the quarters, the 4 quarters, hide on, and remove the back strap. I can do the skinning when I get back home. Makes it a lot more convenient and a lot easier, really. So let me get to work here and get this one ham off. And friends, I thought you'd enjoy watching this. This is nature's cleanup crew at work. This coyote is so wary, so wary. I'm sure he still smells my scent from a few hours before around this kill site here, but he's coming in cautiously, very cautiously. The trail cameras here didn't catch the rest of the story, as Mr. Paul Harvey used to say. But what happened was, after later in the night, that coyote came back in, drug the carcass off a ways, and in usually about 24 hours between the buzzards and the coyotes, the carcass is reduced to bones. Now, I did go back a day after and check this spot right here, and there was a little bit of meat left on the bones, but most of it had been stripped off by probably this wily coyote that we've just seen and the buzzards during the daytime. Nature's cleanup crew right there at work.
Have you ever seen one of these? This is a vintage rangefinder. It's called the RangeMatic Distance Finder 1000. This vintage rangefinder hit the market around 1968. It was marketed as an optical distance measuring instrument usable as a sportsman's rangefinder. They were first featured in Field & Stream magazine in 1969. These devices were equipped with an arrangement of lenses and prisms on both ends of the device with an eyepiece located at one end. Looking through the viewfinder, you will see 2 images. Using the dial, you'll be able to adjust those images and bring them into focus, or superimposing the images. Back in the 1970s, as a youthful hunter, I hunted with this device. The RangeMatic Distance Finder 1000 allowed me to focus on objects within 1,000 yards and determine the actual distance from me to the target. Simply put, they worked. Technology has brought us to the laser rangefinder. These devices work by sending a laser beam at your target, which bounces back to the device, giving you the distance. Of course, I carry a laser rangefinder today when I hunt. This old distance finder now finds its place on my shelf with my hunting collectibles I have in my office. You may call it old school, but it worked. Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by the YO Steakhouse, Catch and Release Apparel, AGM Global Vision, H3 Whitetail Solutions, and Pyramid Air.
Hello sports fans, Bill Carey with Striper Express with your fishing tip on A Sportsman's Life. This is dead sticking part 2, thumper fishing with the thumper. I showed it to you. You get your thumper set up, go out, we're catching fish in 60 to 80 foot of water. A lot of wind on Texoma. Get your drift sock, put it out, slow yourself down. 0.04 to 0.06 miles per hour is ideal for drift fishing and dead sticking. It'll tell you on your depth finder. Now, you're going to go pulls. You hold your thumb on the spool and say the fish are at 40. 20 pulls. You go deeper because you're drifting. You don't want to put it above them. Go 22 pulls. That's 4 foot more for the scope of the line. Now I'll show you a trick. This is two-fisted dead stick fishing. We've got these antique fishing rods on display here in the office, so don't mind them. You put your hand in front of the reel. In front of the reel. Get them down there, and if you set the hook on one, you can sit on this one. If you get two, which you will, pass this off to somebody in the boat. But hold your hand in front of the reel and you got enough leverage to set that hook. So, drift slow, 0.04. Use your circus colored baits. Get your drift sock out. Be patient, because once they start biting, they'll bite. But you got to get them to bite. It might take 15 minutes. So, there's your fishing tip on A Sportsman's Life. Go catch a fish.
Conservation Today is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Visit HaydenOutdoors.com to find or sell your farm, ranch, or recreational property.
As a wildlife biologist in Texas, I've had the opportunity to spend a lot of time out what we call the Trans-Pecos area of Texas, which is west of the Pecos River. This is pretty much where most of our mule deer are. We have a few up in the Panhandle and the lower Panhandle, and I've been hunting those in the lower Panhandle more recently and absolutely love mule deer. With that said, if you're interested in mule deer, and I can't imagine you not being, because it's one of the grandest and greatest species of big game that we have in North America that we have the ability to hunt. But if you're interested in mule deer, get in touch with a Hayden Outdoors representative, one of their agents. These guys know more about the land, know more about the mule deer in specific areas. Now, in Texas, we have desert mule deer, and essentially that means that our desert mule deer are not migratory. As you get into the Rocky Mountain mule deer farther north, into the mountain states, those deer have a tendency to have a summer range, a fall range, and a lot of times a winter range. So even though you may find some absolutely fantastic shed antlers off of a big buck, he may only be there during the winter time, and when the hunting seasons are going on, he may be miles away. On the other hand, with desert mule deer, such you find in parts of New Mexico, Arizona, and western Texas, and even up in the Texas Panhandle, and even Oklahoma, I guess, when you get right down to it, there are some fantastic hunting opportunities there for big mule deer. And those deer have a tendency to be much more resident deer. They don't really leave very far, if at all. They pretty much stay on the property. So if mule deer is something that you're really interested in, Kansas may be another one of those states to look at. But visit with a Hayden Outdoors agent and find out whether or not you have resident mule deer on the property that you're looking at buying, or if they're migratory. And if they're migratory, then you might want to consider, am I in the area they're going to be in the fall, or am I in the area they're going to be in the winter time, or may they not even be anywhere close when it comes hunting season. But your Hayden Outdoors agent will be able to tell you all those things.
The wild hog has an excellent sense of smell. They can smell food from miles away, and they do use their noses to root around in the ground looking for food. The hog can easily smell the scent of a predator or other animals and human beings that might be of danger to them. Smell is the strongest of their senses. In this video clip, I'm hunting in a tree stand and the wind is in the right direction. However, I went and dumped some corn by this feeder, and those hogs actually smelled my footprints. Contrary to belief, the hogs actually do have pretty good hearing and eyesight, so don't let that fool you. Here, these hogs came in, absolutely no chance to get a shot on them. They were very skittish, and of course you'll see they detect the scent of my foot on the ground near the corn pile and sent them flying. Just a couple of tips for you hog hunters out there here on A Sportsman's Life.
Folks, thanks so much for joining us. This segment of our show is brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, Smoking Texas Electric Smokers, TRHP Outdoors, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro Catfish Bait and Catfishing Supplies. Make sure and tune in next week. We'll have another exciting show ready to go for you.